Hello everybody, Awesome Soul here, and welcome to Quick Tips. In today's episode, we're going to be covering something that most people generally overlook when making a robot, and that is protecting your protection. I know, it sounds a little odd, but nonetheless, it is very important. So we have our little test robot here, mounted with some electroplates. And what we are going to be doing this episode is showing off two fairly simple examples, depending on how much space you have to work with on your bot. These examples will allow you to protect your electroplates, making them last a whole lot longer and do their job a whole lot better. So first things first, this one is good for if you have a smaller size bot or are working in a small area. But we will have to show off a little demonstration for those of you who aren't quite familiar with this. Now this is something I like to call damage routing or triforcing, depending on who you ask, but it's more or less the same thing. So, as I am sure you are aware, a full block has a full set of faces, meaning that if you hitch a block there, and so on and so forth, all the faces connect and they will transfer damage accordingly to all those faces. But a block like this, something that is sloped, will not transfer damage to a face that is not actually connected, like this one, for example. So, damage will not transfer from this block to that block. However, if this block is hit, and it's mounted like this, it will transfer damage, because the faces are touching. So we have some nice side armor here, protecting our quote-unquote core of the bot. So if this block gets hit, it's going to take that one out, and not transfer it to the core right away. It's going to then go into that block, and then spread out here, here, and there, and so on and so forth. Now that is a whole lot better than having this kind of armor. Usually. Of course, you don't want to over-triforce your bot, otherwise it'll just end up being very spindly. So use it accordingly, get used to it, and then you can go a little bit more advanced. So, as I was saying a little earlier, if you have a full block face, damage is going to transfer like this, and then right into your core and down. And that's generally not a good thing, unless of course you actually want the damage to route that way. So, how can we use this to protect our electroplates? This little example here is just going to be very bare bones, and it's just the theory behind it. Using this configuration won't necessarily make your electroplate stronger, but knowing what you learnt from the little demonstration up top, you will be able to protect your electroplates according to your bot's shape. So this one is fairly simple. Because we have protection below and not above, what I'm going to do is use sloped blocks and mount them like so. This way, if we get a hit up top here, damage is not going to transfer right down right away. It's going to go into the bot, like so, and then that one, and then that one, and then pop it off like that. But of course we would have a bit more armor down here, etc., etc., so then it would have to transfer up, and then finally destroying the block. So chances are your damage is going to transfer into the rest of the bot as well, rather than going directly to the electroplates. So that's something that you can do if you have a somewhat small bit of space to work with. However, if you do have a bit of a large space to work with, like our chassis here, we can go ahead and pull out another electroplate. Let's go with this one, for example. So here, we have this electroplate set up like so, and it's got some great protection on this side, and some good protection up top, but on the side here, it's not looking too good. If we come around back to the front, getting shot here, and from this angle as well, is going to quite easily take out the electroplate, if we just take out some of the blocks in this general area. So how can we do this? Well, it's very, very, very simple. It's actually a lot simpler than the other one. However, you just have to have the space for it, and make sure that where the damage is going is not to something vital. So again, very simple. All you need is an arrow rod of various sizes. And you're going to want to indent it like so. Then take your electroplate, plop it back on, and now all the damage is going to just destroy these blocks. Like so. It's going to take a lot of block damage before the electroplate block mount is ever going to take damage, and therefore destroy the electroplate. And there we have it. 2 little examples that will hopefully make your electroplates last a whole lot longer and do their job. Spending the CPU on them is a fairly big investment, so you don't want them being taken out too soon. Hopefully this has helped some of you. If it has, don't forget to leave a like down below. And if you have any more suggestions for quick tip episodes in the future, I'd love to hear them. Alright guys, I've been the Awesome Soul. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.